Hello everyone, I am Ankit Kumar and today we are going to start with the basic introduction of machine learning with Python. This is the first video of my lecture series, Machine Learning with Python. And today we are going to learn the basic introduction of machine learning, what it is and where it is being used, and we'll learn some basic concept about machine learning. So as it is written over there, what is machine learning? So according to Herbert Simon, machine it defines learning. So learning is any process by which a system improves performance from experience, and in computer the experience terms is the most powerful thing. So in machine learning we use experience in order to improve the performance of some task. So and in computer experience is some data. So by some data we do a task T with improved performance P, and it's written over here that there is a task T and we need to improve its performance P by some experience E, and the experience is always data. In machine learning we provide data in order to train models, and then after training that model we test it on the basis of some given inputs, and it predicts its value and perform this intended function. So as you can see that it shows the difference between traditional programming and machine learning. In traditional programming we used to provide data as well as program to computer, and it compiles the program and gives us output. But machine learning is somewhat different from traditional programming. In machine learning we give data as well as output of data to the computer, and the computer, what computer does is computers takes the data as well as its output, and it actually deduces a program which is used to make further prediction or calculation or something like that. So here we can see that machine learning is somewhat different from traditional programming, and we are going to learn what machine learning is and how to implement all of its algorithm in the next few video lectures. So when do we use machine learning? Today we can see that machine learning is being used in various aspects. As we can see that we are using our smartphone, and in our smartphone when we use our Google Assistant, it provides us all sort of information, and that is being used as speech recognition. The speech recognition feature of machine learning is used in these Google Assistant, Siri, Amazon's Alexa, Google Home Mini. All these are powered with machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques, and all these recognizes your speech and do the work you are trying them to actually make them to do. So ML is used when human expertise does not exist, like in some areas like Mars or Moon, where human interference is negligible or nearly negligible. So their machine learning models or artificial intelligence models are used to perform scientific research and other functions. So it is one of the applications of machine learning, and where human can't explain their expertise. Speech recognition is one of the areas where human have very few expertise. So in these areas machine learning or artificial intelligence models are used to do some things. And as I said previously, Google Assistant, Siri, these are example of speech recognition models. Model must be customized. So in some areas like DNA mapping or some advanced medicine areas, ML models are used to do some work which can't be done by humans. So models are based on huge amount of data. As I said previously, ML models requires very huge amount of data, and there are tons of data which can't be handled by a simple human. So machine learning models are required in order to handle big data, and learning it isn't always useful. Like we can't use machine learning to do some tiny works like calculate payroll, because in calculating payroll there are some calculation like some addition, subtraction. So we don't actually need machine learning models to calculate some person's payroll or something like this. So some more examples of tasks that are best solved by using a learning algorithm: recognizing patterns. facial identities or facial expression. So as we can see that our phones are equipped with facial recognition feature, so whenever it sees our face, it automatically unlocks. So these are applications of machine learning and artificial intelligence, handwritten or spoken words. So you can see that there is a feature on your phone named Google Lens. So when you when you click a photo and puts Google Lens on it, it actually recognizes whatever it is written over there. So this ML is used there. So it recognizes handwritten or spoken words, and as I have said previously, spoken words, Google Assistant recognizes whatever you speaks and gives results according to it. So these areas are used in medical images. As I said previously, these are used in medicinal fields, generating patterns, generating images or motion sequence. These features are being used in autonomous cars to generate mapping or paths. So recognize anomalies. Anomalies are basically unusual events that occur that are something different from normal, like unusual credit card transaction. If a user's transaction is behaving something different, so it detects that anomaly and informs the user or concerned bank that something is wrong with that user's credit card. And usual pattern of sensor reading, it is used in some, as I said, it is used in Mars. So there is some unusual weather or something, weather or some kind of unusual reading, so it informs the concerned person. Prediction, yes, the ML models are used to predict the future, like stock prices, currency exchange rates, or something like this. So there are other applications of like web search, computational biology, finance, e-commerce, space exploration, robotics, and these are used in various areas. And you can see your favorite area, like there is no area left where artificial intelligence and machine learning applications are not applicable. So this one is a Samuel's checkers player. So it actually tells that machine learning is a field of study that gives computer ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So as I said, in machine learning we don't actually program computers to do certain works. It trains itself with the set of data given, because we give some data and output, and it's trained itself according to that data, and that according to it, that program is programmed. So defining the learning task. So as I previously explained, the PTE, where T was the task, P was the improved performance, and E is the experience. So here you can see that task is playing checkers, and what is its performance. So we need to improve the percentage of games won against an arbitrary opponent. And how will it, the experience is, it will play practice games against itself. So by playing practice game itself against itself, it will improve the percentage of games won against arbitrary opponent in playing checkers. So you can see that TPE concept is being used here, and all these examples are of the same. You can read this. So state of art application of machine learning. Here we will see the actual application of machine learning, like autonomous cars or some other application. So here we can see that autonomous cars. Nowadays machine learning and artificial intelligence is so grown that we don't actually need to drive our cars. The cars are coming with the, in a few days the cars are going to be driving automatically. And there are few states, you can see that Nevada, and there are and few more states which have made legalized the driving or autonomous cars. You can see that there are few images of autonomous cars, and there is some sensors mapped over here. You can see that here are the sensors, here are the sensors. These sensors collects data and gives data to the computers inbuilt in these cars, and these computer processes data and takes decision according to it. So as you can see that there is a 360 lidar, and the 360 lidar is used to do laser terrain mapping. The laser terrain mapping is and the computer makes the maps the laser terrain so that it determines how to drive that car. and there are object detection lidars. The object detection lidars detects the what objects are in front of them and makes and takes necessary action. Stereo cameras are used to collect the information about all the objects in front of it and a particular region of view. GPS and INU are used to get the location of car, that where it is and where it is needed to go. So as you can see that the 3D layers map over here is used for terrain mapping. It maps what kind of road is there, and according to the data given by laser terrain mapper 3D lidars, it drives it. So and here you can see that it is path planning, and by the data given by laser terrain mapping, it actually determines that there are any turns in the path, or like we need to go straight, or there is something obstacle in front of it. So it maps its path according to it, and learning from human drivers. As you can see that there are two drivers, Sebastian and Stanley, and when they were driving the car was actually doing nothing but learning from them. The car was recording all the data while they were driving. He record every activity of them, like how they were driving, what they were doing when some obstacle came in front of them, like, and everything like that. And the data is further used to train, and he uses the data to further train himself. Adaptive vision is also known as computer vision. That's how computer sees what is in front of him. So scene leveling via deep learning. So as you can see that there is an image of a street, and there are cars, sidewalks, buildings, and some etc. And by deep learning we can recognize what objects are there. So you can see that it recognizes what are there. You can see that here it recognizes road, cars, window, building, sand, and everything like that. And you can see that there are errors also. As you can see that there is some sidewalks, and it is recognizing the sidewalks and cars. This thing is known as deep learning. We give it an image, and it processes that image and makes decision according to it. So impact of deep learning in speech technology. As we know that machine learning is widely used today in the area of speech recognition. You all having your phone. If you are using Android, then you have Google Assistant. If you are using iPhone, you have Siri. Most of you have Google Home Mini or Amazon's Alexa in your phone. It actually takes input from you and makes decision according to it and gives your desired functions. So types of learning. There are particular types of learning. Machine learning itself is a very big technology, and there are particular parts of it. So there are certain concepts about machine learning. There is a supervised learning. In supervised learning is somewhat different from other learning. In supervised learning, we give training data as well as desired output, and these are used to train the models. And the data which we give is known as training data, and after that the model is being tested on test data, by which it gives its accuracy. So and the second is unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, we don't give our desired output. We actually give our training data, and without our desired output we actually desire the output. So we actually derive output from given training data. And semi-supervised learning. In semi-supervised learning, what we do is we give some training, we give a lot of training data and a few outputs. So it actually determines its pattern from those few data of which the outputs are given, and derives outputs for the rest of the training data. And in reinforcement learning, we give reward for sequence of learning. Like you can see that in a maze, if we are solving a maze, so our bot is traversing through every parts of maze. So if he travels to, so if he takes every step and there is no dead end, so we give him some reward. And if he reaches to a dead end, see, we deduct some points, like we give him negative reward. So by this mean he will know that I have to gain some rewards in order to achieve my function. So we can see that some example of unsupervised learning, organized computing clusters, social network analysis, marketing segmentation, astronomical data analysis, and you can see that machine learning is used in various sources, various places today, and like every place has some machine learning application. So reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, we give a sequence of state and action to reward and output a policy. As I explained, the maze, robot in a maze, it's something like that. So we give reward whenever it gives some positive results, and on negative result we give it negative reward. And these are some examples of it. So inverse reinforcement learning. In inverse reinforcement learning, so the computer actually learns from users demonstration. This is an example of autonomous helicopter built at Stanford University. It actually learns from users demonstration. So if a user flies a helicopter, it will record all the data or all the actions done by that user and then use that data to train himself. So there is no data given to him. It actually records users demonstration and uses that data to train himself. So framing in learning problem. So in this slide we will learn how to frame a basic problem. So before going deep into algorithm, we actually need to learn how to frame a problem. So designing a learning problem, we first need to choose a training experience, like from where we want to train our data, from why we want to train our data, and what is exactly what is needed to be learned. That means target function, what function is needed to be achieved, and choose how to represent the target function. And everything needs a representation. So we choose a representation method to represent the target function, and choose a learning algorithm. There are various algorithms through which we can achieve our function, and these all will be used in the further algorithm that we are going to use. So training versus test distribution. In this process we will actually know how to classify a data into training and testing data. So in order to gain training and testing data, we actually take a whole lot of data set, and some part of it, like 70 to 80%, we classify it as training set, and the rest 20 or 30% we classify it as test data. And after training with the 70 or 80% of data set, we test the data with remaining testing data set, and by testing with this data set on the output provided with this testing data set, we know that what level of accuracy our algorithm have. And if examples are not independent, it requires a collective classification, and these two are whole lot of different processes. So ML in a nutshell. So you can see that ML has a tons of thousands of algorithms, and hundreds of new algorithms are built every year. So you can't learn every algorithm, but you need to learn the main algorithms like regression, linear regression, and other algorithms. So every algorithm has three components. Representation, you need to represent that problem, and the second is optimization. So optimization means you need to optimize the performance, you need to improve the performance. And evaluation, like you need to test the data, that how much accuracy our model is giving. So various functional representation, these are some algorithm or techniques which we are going to use in our ML models. So and various search and optimization algorithm, these all are algorithms that we will be using in order to build our machine learning models. So ML in a practice. So we just do these kind of process in loop in order to build our model, understand domain, understand what our problem is, we gain some prior knowledge to the problem, and we set our goals. We data integrate, like we get data from different sources, and all the sources are not same. Like data is formatted in different way, it have missing data, it had some anomalies, like some data shows some insignificant values, and everything like that. So we need to pre-process the data and learn models. We need to create models from the data, interpret result. We need to gain result from the test data and consolidate and deploy discovered knowledge. So we, all the knowledge gained from the model, we need to deploy that knowledge. Thank you everyone for watching. Please provide your valuable feedback, or you have any queries in the comments, and I'll make sure that I reply to each one of those. I'll be posting new videos, so stay tuned and subscribe.